Hi, I'm Erica. I'll be making a dance orb. I've put my original orb here in the background so you can see where we're going with this creation. I'll be using a new texture. It isn't seamless like the original, so it might not look as smooth. Just know you can get seamless textures that will flow smoothly. You'll need it in your inventory textures folder. On my screen you can see my top inventory window shows the texture I'll be using. Swirling rainbow skies. The second inventory window will show you the dance orb we're making once I've taken it into my inventory. These are just set up to simplify making the video, so you don't see me digging around in my inventory to find the things I need. You can use the inventories how you normally would when you're building. First, you'll need a spot, like a sandbox where you can have permissions to build. I'm using Firestorm, so my build interface might look a little different from what you're using, but the basics are the same. So, first, let's res a sphere. I'm going to adjust my camera just slightly. And I'm going to right click, create, choose the sphere and the magic wand for create. Right click it on the ground, and there's our sphere. On the general tab, we can give our sphere a name. So let's call it Dance Orb. There is a description box. I very seldom use it because once it's taken in the inventory, you don't see the description field. So it doesn't do a whole lot. So now let's see, where am I? Make sure you're on the Object tab, and we're going to change the size. Now the size I'm going to change, it fits me. For your avatar, if you're taller or shorter, you'll need different sizes. Clicking in the box I want to change here in the size area, I click enter to select the whole box. Now I can just type my size, 2.5. I need it 3 times because I'm doing a sphere, so it needs to be the same size all the way around, 2.5 meters. So there's our orb. It's not very pretty. It's kind of a wood ball. So we'll go to the textures tab, before I do that, important, we need to hollow it out. So here we are in the hollow section, hollow, and it needs to be 95%. There we go. Now the inside, which you can't see yet, is hollowed out where I can fit inside. Now we need to change the texture. So let me go to textures, and here's the diffuse texture. I could click on this and search through all my textures, but it's easier since I already have it open here, just to drag the texture from my inventory into this box. Right now, and I'm using Blend Fawn. PBR is the usual default, so that's a little more complicated. In the description here, I just wanted to use the old style Blend Fawn. Because of the way I did this, I didn't do any fancy selecting yet. The whole of the sphere is selected, all the faces. I made it hollow so there's an inside face too. So since I want to see the inside face, we need to switch from the toolbox of Move to Select Face. Now, the best way to do this is to Shift and click to clear the select on the outer face, and then just click the outer face because the inner face would have been selected too, and we want it not to have that selected. So now we want to find the transparency. So in Firestorm, at least, I can do this 3 ways. One is to grab a transparent texture from your inventory and drag it onto the face box. The other is to use the transparency slider here set it up to 100%. Now I see the inside of my sphere. But what I like to do in Firestorm is click here and just choose transparent. Then click OK to accept it. And that's it. The outside is transparent. The inside is our nice fancy texture. Now, my texture normally, as I mentioned, would be seamless. I go through and I erase the lines where the seams meet. I don't erase them. I cover them up with parts of the texture so that it kind of blends in to make a nice smooth scene. So it's not very lively right now. The texture's not moving. It's just sitting there. We want it to be a little more interesting now. We'll go to the Content tab here, select New Script, at least in Firestorm. I think it's the same in the normal Second Life browser. We get this new script. We want it to have a useful name, so I'm going to F2 on Windows. You can also right-click and choose Rename, and I'm going to call it Animate Texture. Now we need to open it. You can double-click it. You get the box with the text of the script inside. I've also put the text we're going to replace this with in my description. Now this is optional. You don't have to have your textures moved, especially if you make them seamless to begin with. They won't have that hard line in them. The script is between two bars, one that says begin, one that says end, and they have a bunch of equal signs to make it obvious that's the bar. We're going to select between the bars. So start at default and select all the way down to the end, just before the end label. Right click and copy. Come over back to SL. Choose inside the text of the script and do a Control or a Command A. And then to paste in, you do a Control or a Command. Well, in my case, V for Windows. I don't know if it's the same in a Mac. To paste the script in, if you know what your paste command is, you can paste, or a Control Z, get back to your original script. The Command A should get you everything. Right click and paste, get you the script in your box. From here, all we need to do now is just save. And now you see the script start to move. And let me point out, in the text I have animRotate, rotationRate, and rotationGain. These are two different types of rotation. The animRate is the texture itself, and that you can change the speed of it here, make it slower or faster, going up and down. The rotationRate and rotationGain control the speed of the prep, which you're not seeing move yet. Notice the hard line in the center. Watch when I close the edit box. Boom, it starts to move. That's the llTargetOmega. It doesn't move while you're in edit mode. So if I edit, the texture still moves, but the script is not. I mean, the prim is not. So let's close this back. We can see it spinning. So that's the rotation gain, rotation rate, animation rate. You can play with the other settings. They have different effects, and you may want to do that on a copy of your orb just to see what they do. But the rate, those are fun to change. So I've saved my script. We can close this. The next thing we need to do is right-click on the object and take it into inventory. The take command here has a sublayer in Firestorm because your menu has only so many slots. So we're going to take. I could have also done a take copy and left the original on the place here, but we don't want that. So now I want to attach my orb to my pelvis. That'll be about halfway up my body. So right click on the object in your inventory attach to comes straight sideways. If we go off the attach to, the box on the side changes. So we want to attach to the pelvis, which is here about halfway up this dialog. We want to just click. It's halfway up, and I'm standing on the ground so you can see the ground. Inside, we want to do a appearance hover height. Click in the box and press enter like every other box. 0.25, enter. And now, if we zoom in on me, I can see the whole orb. And if I were dancing, you'd see me dancing inside the orb. Little point of note on the attach to pelvis, you only need to do that the first time. Anytime after, if we detach this, right click on the orb. Now you can just simply do add. Then you don't get the whole dialog. You have to scroll through to find where you want to put it. It will remember you've attached to a spot, in this case the pelvis. It will always go back there if you just do an add. A lot of things, when you attach them, default to going to your right hand. That's why sometimes you find your right hand is detached, or your rings on your right hand are detached, or something like that, your bracelets. That's why I like to attach things like to the specific spot. In this case, the dance orb goes to the hip. And now we can just add and go right where we want it. So once you've added, we're good to go. We're all done. Have a great day.